All right, ready to dive in. Today, we're tackling a big one, how to build wealth over time. And let me tell you, the sources we've got, they're not holding back.
You know, it's interesting. We always hear start investing early, but the numbers in these sources, they really make you think.
All right, lay it on me. What kind of numbers are we talking?
Okay, so say you invest $100 every month, right? Starting at 25 with a decent return, like 7% by retirement, over $1 million.
Wait, seriously, a million, just from $100 a month.
That's the thing about compound interest, right? It really adds up.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. Wait just 10 years to start, and boom, you could be missing out on like hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, Einstein wasn't joking about that eighth wonder of the world thing, huh? But like, for someone just starting out, where do they even begin? Index funds keep popping up in these sources.
They're a really good starting point. Think of them like a diversified basket of stocks, less risky, especially for beginners.
So instead of picking random stocks and hoping for the best, it's more like casting a wider net.
Exactly. And the best part, you don't need to be some kind of Wall Street whiz to get it.
I'm also seeing a lot about these investing apps like Robinhood and Acorns. Have you looked into those at all?
Oh yeah, they can be great.
Mm.
Especially if the whole traditional investing thing seems, overwhelming.
Mm.
Acorns, they have this roundup feature. Basically, it invests your spare change.
So like, you buy a coffee for $2.50, that extra 50 cents gets invested. Sneaky. I like it. But these sources, they go beyond just the stock market. They're big on diversifying income streams. Why is that so crucial?
Think of it like this. It's a safety net.
Yeah.
And it can really speed up your path to, building real wealth.
So not just a side hustle here and there.
Right. This could be anything. Rental income,
Yeah.
freelancing. Maybe you start an online business.
Yeah.
It's about using what you've got to create multiple income streams.
Makes sense. We can't forget about debt, though, right? Talk about holding you back.
Absolutely. High interest debt,
Hmm.
especially credit cards, that stuff's brutal. Those interest rates can wipe you out before you even blink.
It's like that saying, gotta stop digging before you can climb out of the hole. And our sources are saying once you tackle that high interest debt, redirect those payments towards, you guessed it, investments.
Right. Turn that negative cash flow into a positive one.
Okay, that's a power move. Speaking of which, what about this whole living below your means thing? Sometimes it just feels a little preachy,
Yeah, I get it. But try thinking about it like this. It's not about depriving yourself, really. It's about being intentional with your money, making it match what you actually value.
So being mindful, making choices that add up.
Exactly. It's knowing where your money's going and making sure it's working towards your goals, not just like instant gratification.
One thing that stood out to me was how our sources emphasize that sometimes it's not about earning more, it's about managing what you've got.
For sure. There's some really practical tips in here, like automating your savings, for example. Set it and forget it.
Tricking yourself into building wealth, huh?
In a way, yeah. No more emotions, no more putting it off.
And if you're prone to impulse purchases, well, that automation could be a lifesaver.
Absolutely. Another thing, try to increase your savings rate whenever you get a raise or a bonus.
Oh, smart. So instead of lifestyle creep, you're choosing to invest in your future.
Exactly. It's about building those habits that little by little add up to, well, wealth.
Speaking of adding up, our sources are big on the idea that time really is your greatest asset.
It's true. Building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes patience. It takes discipline, especially when the market takes a dip.
Because, let's be honest, it's easy to get excited when everything's going up right. But riding out those dips, staying the course, that's the real challenge.
You're right. Thinking long-term is crucial. But even more than that, remember, you have the power to shape your financial future. And you can start today.
I love that. You have the power. That's what it's all about, right? Not just another lecture about saving money, but actually taking control, making your own path to financial freedom.
Exactly. We're giving you the knowledge, the strategies. Now it's up to you.
All right, so there's a lot more to unpack here. Let's take a look at some of the specific strategies these sources recommend. We'll be right back after this quick break. We're back.
And ready to dig up some more wisdom from these sources. One thing that caught my eye, value investing. It's kind of like treasure hunting in the stock market, right?
Yeah, there's definitely an element of that. It's all about finding those undervalued companies, the ones with strong fundamentals that maybe the market's missing right now.
So spotting the diamonds in the rough, those hidden gems with massive potential.
Exactly. You're looking past the hype, really digging into the company's financials, figuring out its true value.
Sounds like it takes a bit more, research.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
But there are tools and resources out there to help, even if you're not a financial expert. And the payoff, it can be huge. You're basically buying stocks on sale.
Okay, now that's a strategy I can get behind. And speaking of investments, our sources also touch on real estate.
Yeah.
But it's not all about those house flipping shows, right? Not at all. Real estate has tons of possibilities. You can get steady passive income through rental properties, or there are REITs, real estate investment trusts, where you invest in real estate without actually owning any property.
So you can tap into that market without needing to call a contractor every 5 minutes.
Exactly. Think of REITs like those diversified index funds we talked about,
Sure.
but for real estate. It's another way to diversify your portfolio and potentially benefit from things like property appreciation and rental income.
Diversification, that's key.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, I'm curious about your take on entrepreneurship. Our sources seem to agree it's a powerful way to, not just build wealth, but also design a life you love.
Yeah, entrepreneurship can be super rewarding, both financially and personally. It's all about finding a need, solving a problem, creating something people value.
And these days, with the whole digital landscape, it seems like it's easier than ever to start a business.
Oh, absolutely. Online stores, freelancing, creating and selling digital products, there's so many options. And you're the one calling the shots.
That's a powerful motivator right there, being in control of your own destiny. It seems like a common theme throughout all these wealth-building strategies is this idea of being proactive, really taking charge of your financial future.
Absolutely. It's about moving from passive to active, making informed decisions, learning as you go, and embracing a mindset of, well, growth and abundance.
And speaking of growth, let's get back to this living below your means idea, because our sources get into some really practical ways to make it work.
One of the most effective. Budgeting.
Yeah.
And no, it doesn't have to be this restrictive, horrible thing. There are methods out there, like the 50-30-20 rule, that make it pretty simple.
Okay, so break it down for me. 5, 30, 20. What's the secret code?
Basically, you're dividing your after-tax income into three main buckets. 50% goes towards your needs, the essentials like rent, groceries, transportation. 30% is for wants, the things you enjoy, your entertainment. And the last 20%, that's for savings and debt repayment.
So it's all about finding that balance, enjoying life now while also investing in your future.
Exactly. And the best part, it's flexible. You can adjust those percentages depending on your goals, your situation.
So if you're really focused on paying down debt quickly, you might want to bump up that last percentage a bit.
Exactly. It's about finding what works for you and your financial goals.
Now, one thing I keep seeing is the importance of automating your savings. It's like putting your financial life on autopilot.
It really is. Automating your savings is a game changer. Set up those automatic transfers each month and watch your money grow without even thinking about it.
Almost like tricking yourself into building wealth.
Kind of. You're taking the emotion, the procrastination out of the picture.
Especially helpful for anyone battling those impulse purchases.
Oh, for sure. And here's another tip. Whenever you get a raise or a bonus, increase your savings rate.
Oh, that's a good one. So instead of letting lifestyle inflation take over, you're choosing to invest in your future self.
Exactly. You're building those positive habits that over time lead to, well, serious wealth.
It's like they say, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is now. Feels pretty relevant to what we're talking about, right?
It really does. Never too late to take control. Even those small steps, done consistently, they can make a huge difference.
And speaking of, those small steps adding up, our sources talk about this thing, the psychology of money. It's not just about numbers, right? It's our mindset, our habits.
Absolutely. So much of it comes from those deep-seated beliefs, those habits we pick up, maybe even early in life.
Like these subconscious scripts playing in the background, influencing our choices without us even realizing it.
That's it. And the good news, once you're aware of them, you can start to change those scripts, rewrite them completely.
Okay, I like that. So instead of, I'm terrible with money, it's, I'm learning, I'm growing, I can totally do this.
Exactly. It's about that mindset shift, Believing in abundance, believing that you deserve to achieve your goals.
Because look, money's not everything, but it does impact, well, everything. Our freedom, our choices, our well-being. It's about aligning your financial goals with your values, with what actually matters to you.
100%. When you do that, it's not about chasing money anymore. It's about creating a life that has meaning, a life you love.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you hope our listeners take away from all of this?
If I had to pick one thing, it'd be this. Building wealth, it's not about the end goal, it's a journey. It's about making smart choices, choices that match your values, your goals. It's about learning and growing, believing in yourself, and knowing that you have the power to change your financial future one step at a time.
I love that. A journey, not a destination. So, to everyone listening, here's your challenge. What's one step, big or small, you can take this week? One step towards building that brighter financial future. Remember, even small actions, done consistently, can lead to incredible results over time. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep building that amazing future.